Okay, so by now I'm sure everybody's heard about the announcement. That announcement being apparently all ABK games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Now, I'm not sure how they're gonna do with mobile. I don't know, maybe that's gonna stay mobile or whatever. But anywho, all we care about, or at least I care about, is World of Warcraft. So yes, they finally did the little podcast thingy, and they said that's what I heard. All games are gonna get there, right? So they're starting with Diablo 4, starting, pretty soon in March, and then I guess they'll go with Overwatch, and the easier ones to port or even that matter really. But with the one that we really care about is World of Warcraft. Now, I realize that is sparking a lot of questions, at least in me, right? I'm like, okay, a whole slew of questions are going to come up. But before I get into that, I want to get into a different aspect, right? So we've all, ever since we heard about the acquisition of Microsoft for Blizzard, is like, okay, so is are these is WoW coming to Game Pass? How are they gonna implement and all this kind of stuff? And whether that was going to be good or not, right? So there's a lot of reasons why we could speculate whether that's good or not, but I want to focus on one in particular, and that being that for me personally, and I'm pretty sure it's a case of a lot of people, is that we are addicted to WoW. We basically can't stop playing it. At least for the people that have a limited amount of time, we just spend all our time in WoW. We grind that, especially if you're like a PvP player or like a hardcore raider or high mythic plus gear. Everybody else is it's casual. You might get time to play one or two other games, um, sparingly. Now, the thing is that even though the game, at least right now as I'm recording this, to me it's been so freaking boring. And the thing is that I stick with it personally. I stick with it because I've paid game time that I feel like I don't want to lose it. So I stick with the game. I log in hardly to play some dailies and do some menial stuff, and then that's it, right? But that hour that I spend, I could have spent playing something else. But then I feel like I'm losing the game time. So here is where I think it's actually a good thing. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but when eventually WoW gets onto the Game Pass, that it's gonna free me from that. I don't know, guilt or just fear that I'm wasting money or gold, whatever it may be, by not playing the game, right? So I could be like, you know what, this week I don't want to play. I'll go play a new release on Xbox, and have that nice, let's say, palate cleanser that will let me, in between these little, seasons or droughts of content. Which the curious thing is that despite me playing in Shadowlands, for some reason these gaps in content have felt, or at least this one, I want to be sure this one has felt the longest. I think because I'm really wanting to get into the war within, but this from waiting for 10.2.6 has just been, it has felt forever. Maybe because this 10.25 was not really that great with the excavations or whatever. It didn't really hit it for me, or I didn't feel satisfied. So maybe that's why I'm feeling that kind of thing. But it's just like, man, I wish I could play something else. So in that aspect, I think if and when they get this whole thing done with Xbox, it's going to allow me to play other games and not worry so much about World of Warcraft. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to make out, uh, to focus on in the beginning, which I think it's going to be a good thing. Now, there's a lot of questions. Now, I've only written a few because I couldn't think of any more in the lot of time that I have. So If you have more questions or you have other things you want to point out, put them in the comments. But right off the bat, the very first one is what will happen to BattleNet? And I believe this is going to be a crux to many of the other further issues that we're going to see down the line. I feel, at least for the time being, when they implement this, right, is that they will keep BattleNet and the Xbox Game Pass, like two platforms where you can access the game. In the end, I think they might want to go ahead and just fuse everything over. They might end up saving money or just being more efficient or whatever. But for the time being, I don't think they have any rush to really incorporate that. They might just do it slowly because, maybe it's different systems, framework, architecture, blah, 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 blah. Who the hell knows, right? So I think for the time being, and whenever it is that they that they finally put WoW on the Game Pass, they'll leave it as is for now. All right, next topic. Or next question. What's going to happen with the WoW token? Now, this opens like a box of Pandora because right now, if you make enough gold in World of Warcraft, you can funnel that into buying tokens and getting BattleNet balance, and then spending it on Diablo, or like me for Hearthstone, or for other things that are within the Blizzard family. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how the hell is that going to work with Xbox? Like, I have no experience with Xbox, so I don't know if they have microtransactions. I'm pretty sure they do. It's kind of like a stupid question, but you know, can you get like skins for Master Chief or something like that? Could you basically, turn Warcraft into your little bitch that makes you gold that you can turn into Xbox, credit, and then buy yourself I don't know. Maybe games that don't necessarily come on the Game Pass, or cosmetics or stuff like that. That's interesting. Now that the first thing I'm thinking of is like, oh my god, the bots are gonna have a field day. They're gonna even farm more of this stuff because now before they only had the market of Blizzard games. Now they can have the market of Xbox stuff, right? All these people for RMT to get, I don't know, games or skins or whatever the other crap is. That's interesting. But again, I think at least in the beginning, it's not going to be an issue since they're going to keep the BattleNet side up and running, and they might implement it on the Xbox side. Who knows? That's going to be pretty interesting. But I don't think that's going to. I think it's something that generates some revenue, enough revenue to keep the thing going, and I don't think they would want to kill that. It's just how are they going to go about implementing it, on both sides and eventually, on the one. All right, so the next one we're going to have is expansions. What the hell is going to happen with expansions? And I have a very particular theory with expansions. First of all, as far as I know, on Xbox, everything is included, right? There's no expansions or whatever. Whatever comes out, it just gets added to the game, right? So right now I personally purchased the War Within. What's going to happen there? And here's where my theory is that they haven't said when they're going to add Warcraft to the Game Pass. Right now they only started with Diablo, but I have a feeling that they're going to wait until this whole World Saga thing is done. So they're going to sell the expansions, these three next expansions, and after that, I have a feeling that's going to be like WoW 2.0. After that, there's going to be no more expansions. It's just going to be, this recurring sea of, content patches. Just another patch, another patch, another patch, and you're just going to be in like these kind of seasons, right? I don't think the whole thing about expansion is going to go away. Now, this begs the question, what's going to happen to the collector's edition, right? So for these three next sets, I think they're just gonna do them. The future, I think they'll keep doing them. Frankly, it'll just be like the knickknacks or stuff to commemorate the launch of the new patch or the new season or whatever it may be. That they can keep making these, but I'm not even sure that's even much of a revenue generator for or they even care. Like, I can't remember the last time they've made like a collector's edition for something for Xbox now that they're all on digital. It's like, do they even care? Like the last time I remember anything being, like on Xbox and PlayStation was Destiny when I purchased that game. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. But shoot, it might be the end of collector's editions after these last three expansions. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense that once they get Warcraft on Game Pass, that they even have these expansions that you either purchase or even have collector's editions for. So that's going to be interesting to wait and see. And the last thing I wrote here that came to mind was the what's going to happen to the 6 and 12 month subs. So I don't know right now if Xbox has those type of subs, 6 or 12 month subs at a discount. If they don't, this would be a great time to like, you know, have like a bundle deal or a discount deal that for Xbox that follows this 6 12 month sub thingamajiggy. And but like I said, for now it's just gonna stay the way it is for BattleNet. And I think down the road they're gonna be like, you know what, this is the last one we're gonna do. If there's time left over, it'll just get converted to I don't know, Xbox balance or something to that effect, or refunds. I don't know, but I think for now it's gonna stay there, and because it's it may come to pass that they don't even incorporate it; they just leave them separate. People that want to stay on BattleNet, they can stay on BattleNet, and then they can double dip. The people that they get, they leech off and get into Xbox Game Pass. Um, they'll just be able to double dip on that. So it's very interesting what's going to happen with this whole integration of Blizzard games and the Xbox Game Pass, because they said it's coming. So it's very interesting. So there's a lot to speculate. So like I said, if I missed something or that you want to talk about, put it in the comments. I'll reply to it, and we'll just wait and see. We'll see if my predictions come true in a few years' time. All right, that's it for today's video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.